Thanks for watching. Please subscribe to our channel.
Welcome to another day and another dose of Did You Know? And my internet is a little wonky, so I think Meredith has frozen on my part because I am in the RV now, so this is all experimental, but I am here with Meredith and her beautiful family, well, part of her beautiful family, and I'm actually really excited because I met her when I was running my family's gymnastics school, and I taught that little lady back there in the background. She's a very talented gymnast back then, but she was 4 and now she's 9, but I still see her as being a 4-year-old, and she is not. She is all grown up. And so Meredith, tell everybody a little bit about who you are, and everybody watching, sorry, we're going to have this like lag time, but it's going to work out. I have full faith that we're going to make it through all the way. So who is Meredith?
Awesome. My name is Meredith. My husband and I are originally from New Hampshire. He is active duty in the Marine Corps, and he is currently deployed for the 4th time. We have 3 children, Jackson, Juliana, and then Joshua is downstairs. He fell and busted open his lip last night. So we were in the ER till midnight. He did not want to be on camera because he's a little embarrassed still. My husband and I have been married for about 12 years, and he's been active duty that whole time. And I am an educator. So as we are moving and traveling around in the military, I'm trying to establish my career myself.
That, which is, I mean, just trying to establish your career or like finding out what you want to do in life is challenging enough. And then you add in, this extra part of, him being deployed, having 3 children, traveling. It just kind of adds to all of that. Now I have to go back because I had this, you guys have been together for a long time. So one of my biggest things when Jacob was in the military, we kind of talked online about this, was I was terrified of him getting married and being one of those statistics, because it has this very high, military has a very high divorce rate. That's why I wrote the book I wrote, because of that. And you were like, it can work. There are good people and strong relationships. And yes, there are. But that was my biggest mom fear, of him meeting somebody for the wrong reasons, and or having a girl just be like, I love you in your uniform. This is awesome. And then realize they don't actually like him and breaking his heart. That was my biggest mom fear. So did you guys meet, obviously, before the military and then he joined, or was he always in the military?
So we actually went to elementary school together. And middle school, we dated in middle school. We rode the bus together, sat together on the bus. We would walk and meet from our houses. And then in high school, we kind of lost touch a little bit. We were always friends. And then he went to boot camp, and I was working at Dunkin' Donuts at the time, and he came in and I was like, whoa. So then we kind of reconnected and just stayed in touch. And then he proposed and we got married really young. We were married at 19.
Wow. So you are that statistic that it does work. Which I love, but you kind of have a very cool story, actually. I didn't realize you went that far back. Basically your whole entire life of knowing each other and growing up. So I want to talk about, because you have this really cool, you have created this very cool project, Family on the Move. What made you start doing that along with everything else that you have going on?
So I am definitely a go-getter. I like to be busy 100% of the time. And when the lockdown happened for coronavirus, we were planning on going to New Hampshire to visit family, and everything kind of shut down. I stopped working. Normally when he deploys, I work extra, so I'm extra busy.
Yeah.
So all of these things kind of just piled up, and I was in the house alone by myself with 3 kids, and I felt super disconnected from everybody. So before he left, we got a video camera, and we kind of just did some family vacations and things, and I really found a love of videography and editing. So my grandparents, who also live up in New Hampshire, were really missing the kids and having a hard time being in the house as well. So I decided to start videoing our days so they could see the kids. And Josh could see the kids over where he is deployed. And it just kind of took off. And I wasn't really expecting it to get that big, but I was making connections with other military spouses throughout the world going through the same thing. Friends and family were watching it saying, oh, I love when you do this. Can you show me how to do this? So just videoing little clips of my life, I kind of found all these other little aspects that I could share with people. And it kind of made me feel more connected and less lonely.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So what are the, like, now when you do it, so at first you started for like, you know, Josh and then, you know, the grandparents and things like that. Has it changed now for you where like maybe you put different thought into it, or is it still the same raw and real? I just want to share my family life. Because I think sometimes we start something and then it blows up and then we kind of change our focus. Or have you kept it the same?
Yes. So my focus is to definitely keep it raw and real. Military family life is not easy. And I feel like a lot of the time people see the beautiful homecomings on TV and it's all happy and nice.
Hold on. I want to hear what you're saying, but it's all, it's my internet. It's all cracky. Try it again.
What was I saying? A bunch of times I feel like military life.
You're saying you want to keep it raw and real? That's what I heard.
Yes. Everyone just kind of sees the homecoming side of military life where it's really happy and that's it. But I wanted to share the life during the deployment and what happens when they're away at school and different things. And when they come back, it's a hard adjustment going from being 2 independent people again during a deployment to having to be one in a family again. So I'm hoping to document that as well with some discretion for our family. But I just want people to know that they're not alone. And it's hard. It's hard being a mom. It's hard being a military wife. Just life is hard. And you're not alone.
Yeah. I always say life is hard, and then you take a military life and it's just like life on steroids. Everything moves faster, things are more intense, just because your life is in this spiral. How do you plan to keep show it being raw and real? Because I've seen this stuff and this is just, you know, this is life. So how do you find that balance? And is he okay with it? Because sometimes I feel like women are much more open and vulnerable about sharing what's going on than the man.
Yes. So we had talked about this a while before because we both kind of have loved YouTube and just watching different families on YouTube and doing things. So we had talked about it a little bit before he got back. He's kind of a pretty private person, but he likes to be the center of attention. So when he comes back, we need to have a big conversation about, does he want to be part of this? How much does he want to be a part of this? And I feel like that's definitely not a conversation to have over there. But he's been tracking my statistics with me and my analytics. 2 of our videos have almost hit 1,000 views, so that's pretty incredible.
I saw that.
Yeah,
I saw that. I shared that because I was like, I was so proud. I'm like, that's huge.
So he's getting pretty excited about that. We do have some personal things in our life that I think we do need to keep separated, especially for my children. So we'll just figure that out as we go, I guess.
And do you ever find, because you're in the military, it's not like a normal life. There are things that you cannot share. Like you just can't do it. So do you think like, oh my God, part of your emotion is from those things that you can't share? So I feel like you're doing really good at it, but how do you decipher, and how do you decide? Maybe it's on the editing creative side of it that you can really dictate, so you're not crossing that line where you're not getting anybody in trouble, and then you're also keeping yourself private. Is it a forefront, or is it kind of like a post editing where you're like, I can't, I better delete that?
Yeah, I think I'm pretty good. I don't know if it's just experience or just something I'm constantly thinking about, but I definitely go through and edit a lot of the videos. Okay, do you need to take them out? Jackson's being very loud.
It's excited. You are very excited.
Okay, you can go. You got lollipop everywhere.
Especially on me.
Hey, you gotta do what you gotta do. And then lollipops they're good. They get everywhere.
We're hoping
every
it's
single
kind
thing.
of keep them quiet for a bit.
But I did miss that part.
What happened? You're
I
frozen.
think it froze. It froze. We were on such a good roll before it froze. Well, I'm going to talk until she comes back. But if you can hear me, oh, there you are. Oh, now there's no kids. Like, oh, now you're back. You're no kids. Have there been times where you felt like, where you question it? I just get curious about this because people share, and sometimes they overshare, or it causes more problems within the family dynamics. And you have it's not a fragile family dynamics, but it's a more complex family dynamics to begin with. So I know you guys are going to talk about it, but have you had the conversation of like, okay, if it goes too far on something, then you have to tell me, but then you have what you want to do too. So is there this like pull and push of like how much to share, how much not to share? Sometimes we have to share a little bit more than we want to. I don't know. I love what you're doing, but on my side, I can hear my husband. He's like, don't say anything. There's never any pictures. He's very private, but at the same time likes to be the center of attention. So I totally get that. So how do you deal with it? Like what is your plan of dealing with it?
I definitely can't really talk with Josh about that now. He's working shift work, and we basically just say goodnight to each other, and that's it for the day. So it's definitely going to have to be a conversation when he comes back. And we'll see where it goes.
Yeah.
I never really imagined, I guess, getting big this quickly.
Yeah.
Kind of going up and up and up. So I don't know.
You don't know. You'll see. But I feel like you have a really good. You have a really good balance of who you are, your moral standards. So I'm probably answering this so you kind of have, when you're questioning, to be like, if it's in question, I feel like you're going to take care of it beforehand. And that's probably just your personality.
Yes, going live definitely scares me because I am worried if I'm going to say something like I'm going to regret later, or something I can't say. But I definitely, went through and thought about things before and jotted down some points. So I'm not sure if I would ever go live on the channel, but talking with someone here is a little different. So
yeah,
you're military mom too, so you get it.
Right. But this is what I wanted to share when we kind of reconnected and you told me what you were doing. And I'm like, this is really cool, is that everybody, we have such this reality living life now. That is like the new TV. People, and it's just our human nature. We're curious individuals. You know, we want to know, like that's what people watching is, right? I mean, when I was in Long Island, we ended up like crashing a pre-K party. By the way, that is a thing, having a huge party for going pre-K. And my friend and I were like,
well, with this digital learning, I think everyone should be celebrating that we got through the end of the school year.
Yeah. Well, it was a huge party down in Long Island. It was like something, but I felt like, I told us, I feel like I'm in a reality show and I'm watching and I'm fascinated by this, you know, this culture, this Italian culture that's there and everything that's going on. So, but at the same time, people can go on this extreme, like this isn't even actual reality anymore. Yeah. This is like made up. This is overexposed and things like that. So how do you open up your family and stay true to who you are and not kind of go crazy?
So I think it helps only filming 1 day a week. So I do 3 videos a week, but really I'm only dedicating 1 day to film. And the rest of the week, you know, we can do whatever we want and be ourselves. And I try to be myself that day. But I definitely feel like I have to like clean up the house a little bit more. And I'm like, no, I want this to be real. Stop doing that. So it's hard. It's a hard balance.
Yeah. I love that you're catching yourself. Like, no, we're not cleaning. Company is not coming over. This is the real thing. So that's what it is. I guess it's just constantly checking yourself to be in the reality of your balancing. So, oh my gosh, I cannot wait to see how this journey goes through, to see the rest of the deployment, how that goes, how the coming home part of it is. And I'm telling you, I think this is great for like people that are out of the military that were in the military. I think it's great for the mothers and the fathers of people in the military. Basically, everybody around. You don't even have to be part of the military, because if you're thinking your life sucks and it's hard, take a little peek of being on your own and figuring it out, and then having, you know, to reintegrate with your husband into that loving connection that you had. It's difficult. It is so hard. And we can learn so much from people's stories when they're like you and they keep it real, of like the chaos and the mess, and some days it's nice and some days it's not. But that's how we, I think, evolve as a society and build those connections with each other, even though we don't know each other. I just keep it going. Please keep sharing. Please keeping it exactly who you are. And you are that woman that I love, that you just say what's on your mind. When I made that comment, well, you're like, it does work, don't you? You know, you're not afraid. And that's like to have an opinion and stand up for what you believe in. So you've been a great example to your kids, even your kids, you know, being part of it, having them being part of it. That is great for other kids to watch. I never even thought of that till we were talking, but other military children that their fathers or their mothers are deployed, and what it's like. They can, you know, be that, like, to them, like what you are to other women, they are to other children.
Yes. Yeah, definitely.
In a way, without letting them get all crazy.
Yeah.
Without getting them all crazy. So is there anything, but as we, As we wrap up here, is there anything that you would like to share or what you've learned, especially since you've been together for so long and there are so many young couples, you've been gone out of that now and you're mature. Any advice or tips or just that you can share?
Sure. I definitely think as a military spouse, you need to learn to become independent. Very independent. You need to be okay with doing things by yourself and calling for help when you need it. My dad actually came in this week to help out because I had to work all day on Saturday, and I basically called him up Monday and I said, I need help. I'm tapped out. I cannot do this anymore by myself. Please come save me. So he came down to help. And I definitely think you need to learn how to be resilient. Things never go as planned in military life, ever. There's always a plan A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and you just kind of roll with it. So I feel like in life, that's really helped me become a stronger person, because when one thing doesn't go as planned, I'm already thinking about what the next step can be and what else I can do. And it doesn't even faze me. I just go and do it and get it done.
I love that. Ask for help and be resilient. Huge. That is like everybody. Ask for help and be resilient. Heather just said being a military spouse is not easy, nor is being a military kid. So yeah, I never thought of it from your children until we were sitting here talking of what an example that is showing that, you know, they can miss daddy. It's okay. But they need to be resilient, and you're teaching them to be resilient and them to ask for help, emotional help, you know?
Yeah, and I've been kind of
wow, that's really good advice. I'm really glad. I need that right now in my transition of life. I need to ask for help, and I need to be resilient right now. This is perfect timing.
Yeah.
Oh, Meredith, thank you so much.
Thank you.
And when on YouTube, can you tell me again when on YouTube go out?
Yes, so our videos go out on Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday mornings at 11 a.m. So a new video came out today, and it's actually how to get out of the house with your kids by yourself. So we were packing to go on a day trip to a little island in North Carolina, and I kind of show you what I bring so that I can be hands-free and have 3 kids on an island safely.
Perfect. And your kids are young. You have young and older. So this is great. And there's the little man again. Well, hey, you. It was so funny. When I met, just a side note to everybody, when I actually knew Meredith in person, that little booger was not even a thought yet. So he's new. I got to meet him for the first time. But, all right. Well, thank you so much. I'm going to keep watching those videos. I'm going to keep sharing them, keep being amazing and giving your gifts and being that strong, resilient woman that you are, that I have always admired. So thank you. Thank you. And everyone out there that is watching, as always, love hard, love pure, and love proactive. And until next time, see you later.
Thanks.